First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Randy Hope. I'm the mayor of the municipality of Chatham-Kent. First comments I want to make, and before I introduce the minister himself, I do want to make a few preliminary comments. You know, the nice thing about today's announcements, a lot of the money comes from the Southwest Economic Development Fund. The Southwest Economic Development Fund was something that Minister Duca had brought forward to the government. Come on over if you want. I'll hold off a bit. I know, we'll do something over here. Come on over, guys. Thanks. So before I introduce the minister himself, I just wanted to make a few preliminary remarks, which I think is important. When the establishment of the Southwest Economic Development Fund was created in the province of Ontario, I know a number of conversations I had with the then Minister of Economic Development and Trade, Minister Brad Duca. Brad was looking for the support from local mayors, from the Western Wardens and other organizations that would help the industries, the manufacturing industries, across Ontario, especially that of rural Ontario. You know, it was great to be a part of that initiative that brought forward the Southwest Economic Development Fund, and today I'm sure we'll share some of the fruit of the tree that's going to be established where we can enjoy some of that to support our industries here in Chatham-Kent with the opportunity of growth, increased employment opportunity, I think is great for our community. At this time, I would like to introduce the minister himself. The minister is just I don't know if he's still calling himself in honeymoon stage of the new portfolio that he's been given. But what's really great is as soon as Minister Duca was appointed as the minister, I think it was weeks after, I think week 3, that I was able to meet with the minister to talk about initiatives, to talk about things that are going on in our community. And I felt that it was very open and welcome. So when I had the opportunity of working with working with the minister prior to Stephen, it was an open door policy, and today I still feel that open door policy with the minister to be able to sit down, talk about the industries in our community, talk about the importance, and talk about programs that I believe are important. With that said, I would like to introduce the now Minister of Economic Development and Growth. They changed the name. Minister to the podium for his announcements today.
Well, good afternoon. I am so very happy to be here with all of you for this very exciting announcement and to have had the opportunity to tour this wonderful facility and to see firsthand some of the magic that takes place here at Dana, Canada, and to see the individuals, the women and men who work here, who help make that magic happen is something that I'm really delighted to have the chance to see. Of course, I want to begin by thanking Mayor Hope for the introduction and the introductory comments. Although I've only served, he mentioned the honeymoon stage, I've only been serving in this capacity as the Economic Development and Growth Minister for about 8 weeks. So it is still relatively new for me, but I've known Mayor Hope, and I've known certainly of his reputation over the last number of years serving as a member of the legislature. You all know he is a very, very strong partner for the provincial government representing this municipality, never being shy about the opinions that he holds or the advice that he wants to give to other levels of government, because he does care passionately about this community. And I'm also very happy to be joined here today by my colleague in the legislature, the MPP for Chatham-Kent Essex, Rick Nichols. And it's great to see both of them here. And before we came to the podium this afternoon, I had the chance, our good friend Mike from Dana, Canada, gave us a tour, and we had a chance to walk around and see some of the work that takes place here. And I have to tell you, I'm not a particularly technical person, and I can prove exactly how not technical I am if I'm given the chance. But it is really, really cool for me to see the work that happens here. You're certainly making us all proud. And I want to thank the entire team at Dana, Canada for making today possible, but more importantly, for making this such an ongoing, exciting success story for this region and for our province. So the truth is, in what is still a relatively new role, as I mentioned, for me, I get to bring a lot of good news on behalf of the Government of Ontario to communities in every corner of the province. We know that our province is creating jobs, and not just jobs, but good jobs. Full-time manufacturing and private sector jobs. In fact, we collectively have created about 800,000 of these jobs since the depths of the global recession about a decade ago. And we are finding success, true success, in a globally competitive economy, including right here in this community, right here in Chatham-Kent, where we have so many ambitious and forward-thinking and forward-looking companies that are growing and creating jobs. And of course, Dana Canada is one of these companies. You are collectively a huge part of the business community here and a truly important part of our province's economy. So I'm extremely proud as the Minister of Economic Development and Growth to be a small part of the next phase of your company's evolution. Today, on behalf of the Government of Ontario, I'm very pleased to announce that we are investing more than $660,000 to Dana Canada through the Southwestern Ontario Development Fund. Congratulations, it's very well deserved. This funding will go towards creating a new production line, allowing for 30% more production capacity here. This will also allow Dana Canada to introduce higher strength heat shields and lead to savings in inspection and production time. Most importantly, I understand this investment will help create 14 new jobs right here in Chatham-Kent. I want to thank you for this major vote of confidence in our province and in this particular region. I am also here today to recognize and mention that we are also announcing support for 4 additional manufacturing companies here in Chatham-Kent. Arkel Tool and Die, Waltron Trailers, Romeka Canada, and Barry Colbert Canada. All 4 of these companies will also be receiving support from the provincial government from the Southwest Ontario Development Fund. These companies specialize in manufacturing and will be investing in enhancements to their facilities and their processes. So taking all 5 companies together and taking the totality of the investment that we are making, 70 new jobs will be created right here in Chatham-Kent. That's great news, not just for the 70 individuals who will be employed as a result of both the government's investment and the individual companies choosing to invest more. That's also great news for 70 local families that will have that support and have that wherewithal to continue to enjoy a very positive quality of life. And I'm delighted that the Government of Ontario could play a part in helping to make that happen. I think the good news that we're celebrating today also demonstrates why our government established the Southwestern Ontario Development Fund. And as Mayor Hope mentioned, my predecessor, then Minister Brad Duca, and mayors like Mayor Hope and others worked hard to make this fund a reality. But this is all about helping forward-looking companies like yours to invest in new technology, boost innovation, and increase and grow your market share. The Southwestern Ontario Development Fund is based on our very successful fund in Eastern Ontario that has the same name. Since 2013, over the last 5 years, these 2 funds have helped to create or retain more than 50,000 jobs in communities across Ontario. And an interesting fact, a really important fact for all of us to remember as people, as workers here in this province, is that for every $1 invested by Ontario taxpayers in the projects supported by these 2 funds, the companies themselves have invested an average of $11, and that is fantastic news. This, to me, shows the power of effective private-public partnerships. So, congratulations to everyone here at Dana for this very important milestone and for the achievements that you have made over the last number of years, and I have no doubt will continue to make in the years ahead. I certainly look forward to watching closely and seeing your continued growth and success as a valued member of Chatham-Kent's business community and our province's manufacturing sector. I want to wish you all the very best for continued success. Thank you for working hard. Thank you for believing in Chatham-Kent, and thank you for believing in Ontario. Thank you. Mike, it's your turn.
All right, thanks. I'd like to thank the mayor and his team for coming today and helping us out with our application and securing this funding. I'd also like to thank all the employees here at the Dana plant in Chatham. It's all your hard work and efforts to make this plant the ideal choice for a new line. I'd like to thank the minister and the Ontario government for their investment in Dana and in the city of and in the Chatham plant, as well as in Chatham-Kent. With this investment, we're going to be able to get a new line that's going to increase our production capabilities of heat shields, and we're able to secure the full-time jobs that we've already created. Thank you.
Happy to take questions if there are any, and if I can hear them. Come a little bit closer. So, thank you. Sure. So both the Southwestern Ontario Economic, the Development Fund, and the one that we have in Eastern Ontario, there's an application process. Companies will navigate that process, working closely with officials from the Ministry of Economic Development and Growth and with our investment office. Work through. There's a series of criteria that have been established to help support, among other things, the manufacturing sector. And we see success here today with these 5 companies that are going to benefit from the funding that's provided on a strategic basis to help them grow. And as I mentioned, I think it's important to stress, on average over the last 5 years, for every $1 that we have invested on behalf of the people of Ontario, the companies involved have leveraged that $1 investment with, on average, an $11 investment themselves. It really helps to show how these 2 funds and other strategic investment funds we have at the province of Ontario really help to leverage more expansion and more growth and, frankly, more opportunity. Well, we did have, Mike took us on a tour, and I said this from the podium, I am just about the world's least technical person, but to see exactly what happens with the machinery, to know how the workers are working so hard to produce the heat shields, and to learn a little bit about what the different aspects of why a heat shield is required in different aspects of, for example, for an engine, was simply fascinating for me. And it's great to see it here in Chatham-Kent. It's great to see it here in the province of Ontario, and I'm delighted about the investment that we're making to help support this expansion. Wonderful. Come on up. Feel free.
No, most of the local guys like to do one-on-ones.
If they want, they're happy to do that.
They
Yeah.
get a better report.
Great. If anybody wants to do a one-on-one, I'm happy to do it after. Otherwise, maybe we'll take a group photo. Wonderful. Thank you.